Hey everyone, I'm not sure if this is on again as usual. You never quite know when you go live. But I wanted to say hi, and I'm Jen. I'm Jen Skoog. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm a mom of 3. I live way up in farm country in northern Minnesota. I'm also the founder of Fit Country Mom. It's a blog and website and community for other busy moms, and I help other busy moms and ladies get in shape and tune up their nutrition in a supportive environment so we can all maximize our time and be our best selves for our family. So hi Kiona, nice to have you here. I want to talk today about some few creative ways to get your kids to eat more vegetables, since and the fact that if you're watching this, I want to just give you a compliment because, gosh, there's a lot in life that we just have to worry about. And, sometimes our diet takes a back burner and sometimes we just rely on convenience foods for our kids. And I totally do that too once in a while, and it's okay. But the fact that you're here and wanting to learn how to, just help feed your family the best you can and set them up for a healthy lifestyle and good health in the future, that is just awesome. So, and I wanted to also share a couple resources at the end too from a couple of my other dietitian colleagues who specialize actually in childhood nutrition and feeding too. So wait for those at the end. I'll be posting more later. But yeah, so a few 3 ways. I wanted to share those just briefly, but preface this by saying that, one, I don't enforce clean plate policy at my house. I grew up with clean plate policy. Like, I was at the table at 8:30 at night eating my lima beans because, there are starving children in Africa, and and that's a sad thing. But that's just not a good way to set up vegetables by being just enforcing it and making kids finish their plate. So I don't believe in that. But let me talk about a few more things about that too. So my few tips today are, number 1, you have to be a model yourself. Are you eating vegetables yourself? Are you, actually consuming them in front of your kids? Are you actively, just trying to always have vegetables around for your meals? And that's number 1. Kids aren't going to ever eat vegetables if they don't see parents modeling them. So that's a kind of a gut check there. And then my other tidbits too is we've got to offer vegetables all the time. So I don't want people to stress about, is it organic, canned, frozen, not organic, whatever. The fact that, there's so many people that just don't hardly eat vegetables at all. I think we need to put some of those concerns aside and really just focus on offering vegetables in whatever form they are. It takes a lot of time sometimes, especially when you're feeding young children. They're going to be like, gross, ew. But they're never going to learn to like them and develop their palate and their taste buds if they're never exposed to them. So it's sad to waste them, I know. But just offer them. Just keep offering. That is the key. And I know what I've learned in my schooling as a dietitian too, that just have to keep exposing them. And eventually they're gonna come around. But another thing too that I do at my house is the 1 bite rule. So I don't make them clean their plate, but I do say, okay, hey Kathy, 1 bite. You just have to take 1 bite. That's all. You don't have to finish your plate. You just got to take a bite. We got to try it. There's a little thing on my PBS Kids app. There's a show called Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood or something, and it talks about trying new foods and not liking them, and you might like them. There's a little song about just take 1 bite, and so that's kind of a really cute thing. And then one other thing too is, so if you involve your kids in the decision-making process, like, hey kids, what vegetables should we have tonight? Should we have, tomatoes? Should we have corn? Should we have broccoli, Brussels sprouts, mixed vegetables? Like, if you involve them in sometimes in this decision-making, they are a lot more likely to try it out. So that could be one strategy. Or if they're involved in, like, say they're going to pour them in the steamer, or like, I buy the refrigerator or the frozen bags and the steamable microwave ones, because honestly, it's less dishes for me, to be totally honest. I just put them in the microwave and just do that. So they could pick that out, or they could even put them in the microwave, or help prepare them, or pour them into the bowl, or it depends on how old your kids, if you're going to let them cut them up or something. Yes, giving them a choice. I know involving kids is that they really helps them feel like a part of it. So, and then, okay, my creative ways, I knew I was going to get to that at some point. So if you can be kind of stealthy too about your vegetables, like I just made a lasagna in a pot. It's kind of like lasagna soup. Hey, Sima, you can just chop them up really finely and just throw them in there. And spinach too, even it just kind of almost melts when you put it in stuff. So I chopped up spinach in there. I chopped up zucchini, we still have some zucchinis around from our garden. And I just put them in there, and they just, giving them, at least they're getting some in there. Even they might not even know they're eating vegetables, and that's okay, but sometimes they do. But they've got to be exposed if they're ever gonna, really get into it. So, also another thing, if you make smoothies for your kids, I have a smoothie every single day because it just simplifies my life as a mom. I can drink it on the go as I'm chasing my kids around. We know we don't get to sit down very often and finish a full meal as a mom often, but I've been trying to be really good about especially adding mixed greens and spinach and stuff into my smoothies. And a lot of times my kids will ask to have some of my smoothie, and I say, sure. And so then I'll make them another smoothie too, or make a double batch, because I now have a bigger blender. So I just make a double batch of my smoothie and share it, and all three kids drink it. So that's another way to sneak in healthy smoothies. I have a special meal replacement protein meal. It's a complete nutritional shake that I drink every day. But you could also do, just even milk and veggies and frozen fruit and some Greek yogurt or whatever. Adding, making your own smoothies at home. And then my other thing, so chop them into, hide them in foods, smoothies. And then I have found some really, Pinterest is amazing. But I recently made something called broccoli tots. I was like, oh, how cool is that? I mean, they had breadcrumbs. You can use any breadcrumbs, generic ones, or I like to grind up my whole grain bread, so they're whole grain breadcrumbs. And then you can add, it's cheese and egg and broccoli in there, and you form them into broccoli tots. And I loved them, and I made the mistake of overcooking them. They were a little bit burnt, so I was really sad because my kids were kind of I don't want to try them. I'm okay, I tried, I got to be better. Next time I know I don't cook them so long, or be very vigilant about taking them out of the oven. But yeah, fun things like that. There are broccoli tots, cauliflower tots. I mean, you can do sweet potato fries. Those are an awesome way. Sometimes I buy them pre-made, or sometimes I make them at home. Sweet potatoes, I mean, I'm not against potatoes. Potatoes are a great thing. We should try to expand beyond French fries. But, especially if you do sweet potato fries, you're going to up a lot of some vitamins in there. There are a little bit more vitamins and stuff than just the white potatoes. But yeah, and then another couple random things. I know this is kind of getting long and more than 3 things, but I found a couple books that I had, and this is a fun book that we got. It's called Dinner with Olivia, and it talks about she goes to her friend's house, and I mean, Olivia just likes spaghetti. She is pretty boring with her food, and then her friend at school has all these cool vegetables, and she goes to her friend's house and she tries Brussels sprouts. And so the kids, we read that book and they were like, Mom, can we try Brussels sprouts? I'm like, sure. So, and I actually did have some Brussels sprouts in the freezer freezer, and we made them up and roasted them up, and I put some olive oil and like Parmesan cheese. I mean, cheese, you can flavor it up. I mean, just add a little bit of stuff. And they all tried them, and they were kind of like, they weren't just like loving it or anything, but they were, you know, they know what Brussels sprouts are now. So, yeah. But so if you can read books, another good one is Growing Vegetable Soup. By this Lois Ehlert. And then, and this one I think I got at the doctor or a health fair or something. It's My Chat with Chewy. It's produced by one of the insurance companies here in the USA. But it just, talks about healthy eating and vegetables and stuff. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to post a few resources. I have a couple like dietitians. If you have a lot of food issues with your kids and you just really are struggling and it's beyond the scope of just this video, I would really encourage you to check out Ellen Satter. She is another great author. She has so many resources about feeding kids and just not making it a battle. Like, eating can be such a control issue with kids, and you just don't want to get into battles about that. I could go on and on about feeding kids and everything, because I'm doing it myself, and I know a lot, and I don't do it perfectly, but I certainly do try. And then Jill Castle, she is a dietitian. She's a specialist in pediatrics. And she is amazing. She has so many awesome resources on her website. I would encourage you to check that out too. So I'm going to post those links. And then I'm going to wrap up and say that I wanted to also invite you all to, as moms, to join me next week for my... it's a 5-day clean country cooking group. It's simple cooking, country meals. So here in the Midwest, we have, obviously a lot of beef, chicken, and pork, and eggs and stuff is a lot of our protein sources. And so some of those meals are going to be based on that, just simple country meals that the family can enjoy. And I'd love for you to join me. We're going to be doing daily 10-minute workouts as well. So it's a cooking and crunches kind of a thing. But yeah, I'll post that too. That's also the pinned post in this group or in this page. So you can join me there. It's totally free. Just make sure to send me a friend request so I can for sure add you to the group. We will chat again soon. Thanks for watching, and feel free to share this or comment, or anyone any other mom who would like to maybe have some insight into this too. But thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.